All right, we're back. Sorry for the interruption there in the live stream. Let's get right back into it. This will be two separate videos then. Let's just put it that way, a 5-minute video and whatever the hell I'm going to go off of there. So yeah, so let's get back into talking about Salem's Lot. And so Salem's Lot, like I said, has a lot to offer when it comes to scares. And when you have James Wan putting his hand in it, I love that. I love the fact that he's going to have his hand in it. He's going to do something with it, and I bet you it's going to be scary. Of course, he produced The Conjuring and all that, but I don't know what happened to Henry Cavill. So Lewis Pullman here is going to be the new head lead for Ben Mears. And I don't know anything about Mr. Pullman, but man, it's like I said, fresh faces in the film, which is pretty cool. I like that. You're going to come out with some good scares and all that. It's not much information, but of course they try to release it on September 9th of 2023 this year, Salem's Lot. And of course, when you think about Salem's Lot, you think the title and you don't get scared, and everyone associates it with the TV miniseries. That's another thing for me about the 2023 movie. They should rename this movie something else. Anything else besides Salem's Lot. It should be The Lot. I think The Lot would be great and really scary, and get more people out of Salem's Lot to come see the film. Marketing, come talk to the Real Rant reviewer. He will tell you how to market this movie. It should be just called The Lot, and that's it. 2023, not even 2023, of course, just The Lot. I'm telling you, that's going to make you way more money than Salem's Lot if you're calling it Salem's Lot, which they're doing it. It's basing it upon the same story, the same premise, but you want to change that title. The Real Rant reviewer wants to get on that fact. That title has to be changed. If that title is not changed, you're going to limit yourself, like I said, to hardcore fans only, and not getting a new group of people. And that's new viewers, new people to the genre, even vampires, anything like that. You want to bring in the new crew, and a new title would do that. And I would call it The Lot. And I just came up with that off the back of my fucking head here. So you got to, appreciate what they're trying to do here. When they're bringing back a movie as, of course, Return to Sam's Lot. Oh, my God, we're never going to get into that. I just saw that pop on the screen. Let's stay away from that as a whole. But, yeah, we're discussing Salem's Lot 2023. And like I said, Henry Cavill is supposed to be in the film. He's not. And I read this on paperback. Love the movie. Love the book. Love the book more so than any of the movies that they can produce for some reason. That's a strange saying, isn't it, coming from the Real Rant reviewer, because he loves his movies. There is no doubt about that. But, this movie, like I said, the original doesn't scare me. This is a great scary part from the original. This is so memorable, this vampire here, Barlow, how they do it. But you want to, and of course, in 2004, they blow it because you got Rutger Hauer in the 2004 just looking normal, looking like a normal dude, not like a crazy vampire or anything like that. So that's where the downfall comes into Salem's Lot 2004. A lot of production. They're limited by budget. They want to, get it out there for 2004. And I saw it on its premiere. So I'll tell you what, it was I watched it over and over after that. It was rented by a family member, then I just could not put it down, and I always watch it. So, like I said, the title for the 2023 has to change from Salem's Lot. I hope that, man, if any of the producers or anyone is out there, has any connection with Salem's Lot, they need to change it to just The Lot, and that would be scary, or something else. Even Jerusalem's Lot would be better maybe than Salem's Lot. But see, Jerusalem's Lot, you're confusing people. So you want to stick to The Lot and see what is on the lot. People want to know, and they will go. You will get more people out of Salem's Lot to go to the cinema and see this movie. And I'm always going to hold to that. The marketing here for this movie has to be well done. The trailer should only be about a minute, probably a minute 30 seconds. Is showing a minute 20 here. I believe the trailer's already out. But no trailer's out yet, but I believe there will be one released very soon, before, of course, it is released this year. And, I don't know if it's going to be an HBO Max, or there's obviously they're going to be, hopefully, an HBO Max movie. Okay, so it looks like it might be an HBO Max movie, which is cool, because you're going to, of course, you want to get more viewers, but you want to draw in a whole lot of other people, and the Salem's Lot title is not doing it. That's why I had to come to this live stream and just do it for audio, because I knew I had some ideas on Salem's Lot, because the love is there for it, for the franchise, for the book, for the movies, 1979 to 2004's, and even Return to Salem's Lot. Shit, I've watched that a couple times. That is a weird, freaky deaky movie, but Salem's Lot, man, they have a lot to offer. The 2004, I believe, it's just a better movie as of now. And that's it. And then it will be, of course, the TV miniseries from 1979, I believe, and then Return to Salem's Lot. And then maybe, hopefully, 2023 Salem's Lot here really gets us going. Like I said, I thought they had Henry Cavill there, or what have you, Mr. Superman. They don't. They bring, and like I said, James Wan producing. This is going to have some scares. He's going to bring it. There's going to be some visuals, I think, that'll scare us in the Salem's Lot 2023, and that's what I want to discuss as well and cover before I forget, because that's why I better put this down on wax. That's what we do here at the Real Reviewer channel. And, you know, to believe that this movie's not going to be scary, this 2023, they're not going to make vampires scary, is just, it's a farce to me. They're going to make it scary. It's going to be scary. You do have James Wan from The Conjuring. I mean, who else do you want in the film to back you and make you scared? We know there's a couple parts in The Conjuring are scary. And I think James Wan for Salem's Lot 2023 will do the same. There will be a couple scary scenes. And there will be some good acting, I believe, too. Because you have nothing but fresh faces here. That's what I see in the cast so far. And so I believe Salem's Lot 2023 has a lot to offer. Now, you know, it remains to be seen about the production design or the cinematography, you know, where they're at. We know they're in Jerusalem's Lot and Salem's Lot, so it is going to be dark and dingy and rainy. I want it constantly rainy, this film. I want to see it dark, dense, but I still want to see light. I want it to be like a grayish light, you know? I like that in 2004, how they pulled that play off in the environment, and they should do the same here for 2023. So, you know, the only thing, too, I want to cover is the cast here for Salem's Lot. You know, Lewis Pullman here as Ben Mears. We got Spencer Treat Clark. I believe that's probably the son of another Treat Clark. But anyways, as Mike. Kurt Barlow is played by William Sadler, everybody. That's something they wanted to cover. So they do have William Sadler here coming into, of course, the Stephen King movie, No Stranger there. And he's going to play Kurt Barlow. So the makeup effects better be really scary. I bet you they will deliver. I'm just getting scared thinking about what they're going to do. And then you got Richard Stryker's Pilo as back here. Never heard of him. Mackenzie Lea. So you got a little bit of new faces here. Danny Glick, Susan Norton. She's playing. And, you know, Nicholas here is playing Danny. And you got Cade. And Alf Woodward, you'll remember her. She's a good actress. She's Dr. Cody, which is cool. I like that they're making Dr. Cody a woman. That's good. I think she was a woman in the original. Now she wasn't. It was man, I think. But anyways, you do have, you know, like I said, all fresh faces, which I do like. And you do have William Sadler's Kurt Barlow. That should be really interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So there's no trailer out yet. Of course, we'll keep an eye out for that 2023 trailer to drop on Salem's Lot. But, you know, like I said, you're dealing with a lot of pluses here. You have a lot of good people back in your movie so far. It seems like they're really paying attention to it and trying to hype the movie up a little bit. But you know, bring some freshness to it. That's what I'm trying to, some nuance for sure. They got to come out the pocket with this movie, like I said, but they're not doing it already with the title, which really disappoints me. That title, Salem's Lot, has to be changed. So basically the synopsis here on IMDb is... you know, a writer travels to a town where the people become vampires. So we don't know how he's going to play, how close to the book this Gary here is going to play to the chest, the director. But, you know, he's got a lot of good material to work with. And a lot of good actors, it seems, as well here. That Mike guy might be a good actor, man. He looks a little creepy. But, you know, and this Lewis Pullman guy might be good as well as Ben Mears. He's young. He looks really young and hip. So, you know, you have some fresh faces. You want to make this new. And they're trying to do that. So I like it. I'm laughing because I'm really, as you're looking at the information here, that is very little on Salem's Lot 2023, which I like. But no one talks about Salem's Lot and why it's not successful. And I do believe that the primary point of its not its demise, but its unsuccess, how it doesn't reach the pinnacles of that movie. It's known for its vampires, no doubt about it. But the thing is, it doesn't reach that pinnacle because of the title. Salem's Lot, Salem's Lot. You keep hearing that shit. You know what it is. You're bored of it already. They got to change that title. The lot has to be what the title is, I believe, would do it. And that's that. You would have a really strong way to see the movie getting outsiders in. I'm going to keep harping on that point. But also, like, of course, the fresh faces could be a backfire as well. You know, man, it could backfire so badly here with the fresh faces. You don't want that. I'll tell you that. That's one thing you don't want is you know, people really just not liking the acting and not connecting with these characters. You want someone that is connectable. And, of course, we know that William Sadler playing Kurt Barlow, he's only mainly seen in probably 2 scenes. And that would be, or 3 scenes. One where he confronts Dud in the junkyard, I believe, and the end, of course, where he's killed. And before that, just shortly before that, killing Danny Glick's parents. So he's only in about 3 or 4 scenes. I would say even less than that, 3 scenes. It's Kurt Barlow. So William Sadler, you're not going to see much of him. So he's not going to really, lead the cast or do anything awesome, you know what he's bringing to the table regardless, Mr. Sadler. So, and you do have some producers of it, of course, in here and shit like that. So you have people that can scare you. You have people that can scare you. So this 2023 should really be something. It should come out on top. It should be a box office hit back probably as early as September, I believe. I believe the poster said September 9th. But what they're doing here is how could you make Salem's Lot any more scary? Like I said, number one is the title. We covered that. Change the title, it would bring the scariness. Okay. Number two, of course, you're dealing with your vampires, so you're boxed into just vampires. You have to just go effects or another way to do it. Another way to do it, man, you got to do some creepy shit. I wouldn't even come out with the vampires, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would come out with the vampire probably at the end, but I would come out with creepy things. I would come out with weird people acting weird at first. I just wouldn't throw the vampires in their faces right off the bat. I would make some creepy phone calls, some creepy visits, maybe some attacks. The newspapers describing it. I want some progression here in the vampire takeover. A lot of the movies, especially in 2004, they tried to do that. They showed the progression, which I really appreciated, but I wanted more progression and some more creepiness, and they just came out, with the vampires straight up. They were like, okay, listen, here it is, and they didn't come at the vampires at all, really, man. The effects were so crappy on all the vampires, especially Rutger Hauer. Terrible when you have Barlow here trying to scare you, but you just, Rutger, you got to give him some credit. But I heard he didn't forget his lines and all that. Mr. Lowe here had to tell him, was getting all his lines and all this shit. So you could tell the role was not really taken seriously there for Barlow in 2004 by Mr. Rutger Hauer. But like I said, you got Gary Doberman here, and he's going to be directing the film. And, like I said, you got to have a good environment. I want to see that Drury feel. I want to see a cool town. I want to see something different, a different title, and scariness. You got to have creepy people. I want people being creepy, and that's how I want them, being creepy, not just off-the-wall vampires. And we see here back in March, Mr. Sadler had joined the cast. Maybe they needed a Barlow and they couldn't find one. They wanted one cheap. Maybe they're running over budget. I don't know. You're not paying much people to the cast. What are you paying, James Wan? So I don't understand. What's going to make it scary? So, I know that Wan's going to have one or two scenes that will be scary. But, they're going to use the vampires outright. Maybe some dark eyes, in the darkness, those eyes shit. I can't wait to see what they do with Danny Glick with his brother there in the woods, running around. I can't wait to see how they capture them and how they play that out. It could have been played a lot better. A lot of these scenes in the book and in these movies could be played a lot better in 2023. They could really improve upon them. I suggest and recommend to them that they watch all the previous Salem's Lot and study them to see what they can do better, or what they also can bring to originally to the film, but also bring some stuff back. Some throwbacks. You got to be really a deep fan, man, of this shit to really know what's gonna scare and what's not. So when it comes to Salem's Lot, there's a lot to be, talked about. There's let's talk about a return to Salem's Lot. That's a good thing that's up on the screen now. Yeah, Mr. Barlow here making an appearance, but a return to Salem's Lot. I've also listened to the audiobook of Salem's Lot. There's an audiobook out there. You should listen to this, man. It's good to rest to. It's good to sleep to. It's so good, this audiobook. They play it out. It's so creepy. Even the audiobook is great, But when you're talking the title, like I said, it's throwing a lot of people off. But, yeah, love the audio. Listen to that shit over and over. Don't know if I will again. Maybe in the future, but I've listened to it many, many times, this audiobook of Salem's Lot. It's like a play that's played out audially, with effects and everything. It's so fucking good. Check that out. The Real Review just recommend that audiobook. And yeah, so what you got to do is that. So you got James Wan. Let's talk about Mr. Wan here. Or let's talk about Return to Salem's Lot. Obviously, you don't do anything that they did. Return to Salem's Lot had man, it's the cheapness, the creepness, of course. The acting is shite. Everything is pretty damaging. There's no cool vampire. Actually, there is the cool vampire creatures. I do point that out, I believe, in a rant list. Really, they try hard at the creatures. You see where the money went, that's for sure. But everything else is just thrown to the wind, which is terrible. And you're not really scaring anyone. So, well, there's, Return to Salem's Lot, man. See, I don't want to dog it completely because I do in my heart believe that it does have one or two scary parts. And I don't know. There's something about it that's just so creepy. There's the the way they pull off the kills and set them up is so horrible and bad, and the way they set the vampires. Like I said, putting vampires in our faces these days would be a terrible mistake. I think, James Wan and the crew there, and Gary Doberman, they need to rethink that. Rethink the title, number one. Rethink these vampires. Don't show us the vampires so much. Don't show us them at all, if anything. Show us some creepy shit in the dark. Let us hear it. Let us not see it. Scare us like Wan does. Wan's good at doing that, so I think they're going to do that. That's why I think they incorporated Mr. Wan, to get away with, doing it cheaper but scarier. In a way they're doing that. So, and of course, yes, you do have directed by Tobe Hooper. I wanted to point that out, that the original was directed by Mr. Hooper, but it's so toned down. It's just so toned down. It doesn't feel like Mr. Tobe at all. This is one of the films you wouldn't think Tobe Hooper even had a touch on, or even would touch with a 10-foot pole, but Mr. Hooper does. He has his hand in this film. So, and he directed the original Salem's Lot. Could you believe that? Made for the TV. And you could tell it is made for TV. I don't know what happened. Maybe they shut it down or chopped it down. But this is not, you don't even tell it's a Tobe Hooper film. Who would even name this movie in his catalog? No one. There'd be Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist. That would probably bring you right there. And that's it. Salem's Lot, no way. But so 2023 has a lot to live up to. Now, I don't know much about this director. I don't think I want to know too much about him until I see this actual movie here this year. I do plan on seeing it at some point. I'll tell you that. Yeah, and it's going to be an HBO Max movie, so they want a lot of people to see it, of course. They want you to sign up, blah, 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 just to see the movie. And who knows, I might do that. I mean, that's not a bad option. I don't see what was so harmful in that. Release it in theaters as well, please. You want this movie, you want James Wan's name postered and plastered all across the ads and the trailers. That is for sure. We're going to see that. Mr. James Wan, he should be doing that, putting his name and stamp of approval on this film. I want to, like I said, there's not much information on it, just the cast here. Louis Pullman, he says that the remake is faithful to the original. Well, I don't really want faithfulness to the original, do we? So that's the thing here. I want something new. They better bring that fucking shit. I just have a bad feeling, ladies and gentlemen, people of the jury, that they will fail us in Salem's Lot 2023. Yes, they will fail us. And when they fail us, then, we're going to just cry ourselves to sleep. The viewers going to cry. So I just have a feeling they're going to fail us. I feel like it's just a money grab bag, grab and tag for the money bag. But whatever, I could be wrong, right? Always could be wrong. But then again, I could be right. So yeah, so we do, like I said, I wanted to concentrate mostly on audio and not go video. Because shit, I mean, this movie deserves a good remake. This movie deserves it. Give us the 2023 scary-ass remake, the best vampire movie ever. This possibly could be known as the best vampire movie. If you change the title, it definitely would be. But yeah, it could be there. I think it's very, very close to that. So we'll see. But like I said, there's not much information out on it just yet. Just the cast, and maybe they predict. They have been pushing this movie back for a while. So that's another problem there that you're facing. You don't know if they're really going to say, hey, we're releasing it this year, and they're not going to do it, because they're usually not going to do it, because that's the way it is. But you got to change this title. You got to have scary vampires. The way to make, now you have William Sadler, like I said. You want to, now what are they going to do? Just rehash making Barlow scary from the 1979 TV series? Okay, that's fine. Scare us that way. Give that to me at the end, though. Like I said, during this movie, I want to be scared, like not knowing what's in the dark, maybe hearing a rustling in a bush. Just scared by the lighting, scared by the town. The townspeople here in 2023. I want it like 2004, but more. I don't know, more ramped up a little bit, because they didn't have much money to work with. So I want more, people getting sick and shit, having to stay in their house. Maybe they're wearing the mask, like they think it's the 19 virus or what have you. You know what I mean? And they're in the house. They don't know what it is, what's going around. People are making weird phone calls. Ben Mears is getting weird phone calls. I want Ben Mears stalked. Ben Mears is seeing weird shit. The Marston house. Now, how are they going to pull off this Marston house? Now, I want to discuss that real quick. I think it's going to be CGI, and that's what it's terrible here. I think the Marston house deserves a real house, like the Psycho house. I think it's up there, like top 10 of scary houses. I mean, the Marston house. I mean, everyone, if you've heard of Salem's Lot, it's associated with the Look at this. The Marston house is right in the background. There it is. So the Marston house is like the the Amityville of Salem's Lot. So it's the beacon for evil men, as we know, and for the vampires, they're gonna take lodge in it because that's where they like that, feeding off that. So when they're in this house, the Martian house, are they gonna use CGI or will they do a real house, a practical house? I feel like they such deserves a practical, creepy, spooky house. But they're gonna do CGI probably, and it's gonna look shiny. That's all. It's just gonna look shitty. And that's another thing I wanted to cover was that Martian house. It's such a big character in itself of this the lot. Of going to Jerusalem's lot, the Marston house. There it is again, once again in the poster here. So you got to have this be real, like a Psycho house. I want it built, customizedly built, hopefully, just for this movie in 2023. You're gonna have Ben Mears wants to stay there. Of course, we're gonna find out he's probably not gonna stay there. I wonder how close they will stick to the book. And like we just read, Lewis Pullman here says that they're gonna stick. The movie is faithful to the book. And it's like, well, like I said, I don't want even the TV miniseries was not faithful to the book. Neither was the 2004. So when you say it's faithful to the book, we know that's what a fucking stereotypical shit to say, to not even give us any information. Like I said, there's not much information on the web at all about Salem's Lot, just the cast. And I thought Harry Kavanaugh was going to be in this film. So I was pretty disappointed when they replaced him or something. I don't know. Superman himself has left the building. So, but look at this Marston house right up at the top there. We could see the Marston. Look how creepy that is with the one light on, overlooking the lot. Wow, this is gonna be some movie. I do believe in James Wan. I believe in him to a point of scaring me without showing me. And I like that they incorporated Mr. Wan into this film. It's about time vampires got a fucking good name. It's about time vampires got scary again. And maybe this is the shit. And that's kind of like the headline here with this movie, with Salem's Lot, which I would call the Lot 2023. They need to fucking, make these vampires vicious, make them vicious when we see them. But that's the thing here. I don't want them all coming out like Blade and shit, or like Blade 2 out of the sewers. Or this is Blade 2 and shit, right? Coming out looking all crazy with the veins and, blood everywhere. This better not be a bloody movie. Let's cover that. Salem's Lot is known not for gore. And that's the bottom line. It's known just to scare you with the visuals of the creepiness at night, of what's in the dark, what's lurking. And then at the end, they throw that vampire at you. And they let the vampires loose at the end. I'm telling you, man, they work this shit up. So that's what the book does. That's what 2004 does. And that's what 1979, I believe, tries to do. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the year here, but Toby Hooper's, if you believe it or not. But like I said, you're going to have problems in the film. It's not going to be perfect because you do have a young cast. So we're going to see these people and say, okay, but I think that's what's going to connect us, I think, not knowing these people. And you're not even going to recognize William Sadler, I believe, because he's going to be Barlowed up all in that makeup and shit by the time we see him. But I cannot stress these points enough. If it was the Real Rant reviewer, making a checklist on how to make a successful, scary vampire Salem's Lot movie of 2023, if you want to call it a remake, I wouldn't even call it a fucking remake to begin with. But you don't make a return to Salem's Lot, that's for sure. But you want to, like I said, change the title number 1. That's something that always bothered the shit out of me. I think I've harped on that for the last 20 minutes already about this title. About getting rid of Salem's Lot. You got to just call it the Lot, or that's it. Just the Lot, man. You got to get rid of that Salem's Lot shit. But they're not going to do it, so they're going to stick with this title. That's gonna box them into a certain audience. To people that know it, not to people that are living in 2023 now. You know what I'm saying? That comes to the movie to see new vampires. And now you have to say, okay, well, how are they going to do this? They're going to throw the vampires at us. I don't think so. I really think that James Wan involvement means that we're going to see less, and less is more. Less is more here with Salem's Lot 2023. Best believe the Real Rant reviewer. Yes, less is more. Give me less and I will love you more. Yes, we will see more. We will make it up ourselves. Like I said, they throw this at us. look at this picture here, Mr. Barlow, of course, from the TV miniseries. That is memorable. People, I bet you believe, that were kids in '79 or whoever. Even so, you see this today. All right, this is fucking up there with Nosferatu, for crying out loud. That is for sure. Mr. Barlow, this makeup is right up there with Nosferatu, and that's the bottom line. And that's your greatest vampires that you're going to have. So Barlow here with the makeup is very stunning when you first see him. You're very stunned. You know your eyes are trying to adjust to what you're seeing here. Is this a demon? Is this it's a vampire from fucking hell? It's Count Dracula for sure. And so that's what I kind of want to feel when I see Salem's Lot 2023. I want to feel that. I want to feel when I see. Now we know Mr. Sadler's playing Barlow, so are they going to come with the awesome CGI? Are they gonna, I don't know, the awesome CGI? I can't believe I even said awesome CGI. I don't want to fucking see any CGI. No CGI vampires. Listen, I do believe this. It just came to my mind that James Wan involvement does mean CGI effects. I believe James Wan's going to try to pull off the creepy Grudge, like, climbing on the walls, The Conjuring, where the mother gets on the wall and she's all freaky looking and shit. I do believe he's going to pull that off with the vampires. And I just feel like these days we need to really give these vampires something else. It's the same shit. It's the same stuff with the vampires. It's just, we know what to expect. They suck blood. They're fast. They're strong. They're superpowered. They covered every basis, these people. Why not make this a disease? Like Salem's Lot was trying to do, like 2004 was trying to do, like the book does. You want to stay faithful. Make this a disease where everyone's sick in the town. They gotta wear masks, they gotta take vaccine, whatever the fuck's happening, but it slowly happens, and people go crazy though at first. Calling you up at night or forgetting things or stop eating and shit like that, man. Let's see the deterioration of the whole fucking town bit by bit, and then show me the vampire. Then show me a scary fucking shit. But leading up to that should be really scary. You should have somebody outside Ben Mears' house or wherever he's staying at the inn probably. He's probably going to be in town at a local inn. I'm forgetting the woman's name, but he stays with her at a local inn or whatever. So he doesn't, because he wants to stay in the Marston house and to write a book about the Marston house. So what no better place to be than the place you're writing about? So he wants to be there, and he can't be there because I believe David Crockett or whatever, Mr. Crockett here, the realtor, doesn't want, sold it to Mr. Barlow and company. So you would have somebody standing outside, like, or something, man, something. And like I said, you got to have this good production design. You got to have us in a good environment. I want to see rain. I want to see gray clouds. I want to see it all when it comes to Salem's Lot, Jerusalem's Lot. Man, so there's not much information, like I said, on 2023, but I wanted to get this out on wax, out on record. So if, I do prophecy a little bit, I can run this back when I see the movie and say, hey, man, I was really, right about this, or I was wrong about that, and I want to give props to that months and months from now. I want to be able to look back and say, okay, you gave credit here or you didn't here, just to see. It's interesting. It's an interesting movie. It's an interesting franchise. I mean, you do have a lot of creepy shit to go off of, and this picture here that you're looking at, you can't see it full frontal, but it's kind of like what they're putting out there right now for like, what it might be for the poster of Salem's Lot. And it looks creepy, man. It reminds me of, though, The Mist. It reminds me of The Mist, kind of like that. But I like it. It's not that I hate it. I just feel like, that's the first sign that, it might not be that original. That's where you want to kind of, say, okay, step back for a second and think about it. Well, this right here, they're not changing much, are they? I really thought they would change that title, everyone. That title's got to go. But this picture here is so crappy. Sorry about that. It's actually Barlow. But Salem's Lot 2023, a discussion on this film. And like I said, any thoughts or concerns about the film, wow, man, just leave a comment or a chat. Anything that you want to talk about when it comes to Salem's Lot, I'll check this thread out. Keep checking this video out through the months and see where we're at. If any new information comes out. But as far as information, there's nothing you even need to know really about researching this film, because it's going to be what it's going to be. Because as soon as they didn't change the title, they got James Wan involved. But I feel like this could be something. but I feel like they're going to drop it. They're going to fumble the bag, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like they might just fumble the bag when it comes to Salem's Lot 2023. It's just not enough to be said. I mean, I thought they had Henry Cavill, Mr. Superman, as Ben Mears, but now they have Louis Pullman. So that's so weird because I was hearing the whole time these last months, last 6 to 8 months, I was hearing that Henry Cavill was going to take over as Ben Mears. They're going to have a good face in there, and I was loving it. I was thinking of him. I was daydreaming of Mr. Superman as Ben Mears, you know? Just going to town, you know, he's not stupid, he's strong, and then he's weak, you know, like, oh man, Henry would have been so good for this role. But they're going with this new guy. So they went with this new guy. I think something had to do with budget, man. There's something wrong here with the film. I'm scared now. Now that we're breaking this down and real talking it out live stream, I feel like something went wrong here because they had Henry, they had Mr. Superman, and he was going to play Ben Mears. What happened there? That's really surprised me very much, and I believe that maybe it has to do with money and budget, and that's where we're not, man. Oh man, we're not going to get what we want. Oh man, I don't know what it is. What's happening with Salem's Lot? You know, where they're shooting it or whatever, what have you. But wherever they're fucking shooting it, I don't know, man. There better not be no CGI vampires. That's all I say. You know, like I said, when you do have James Wan, you do have some CGI shit. He's good with the ghost shit. He's good with not showing us things, but scaring us, and that's what I like. Salem's Lot should be more ghostly. It should be more, you know, it should be more not seeing but feeling and knowing it's there, and it's a heavy feeling, and you know that any moment it could slice your throat open. You know what I'm saying? So, and the blood doesn't even have to be there. If this blood is there, I don't mind it, but it shouldn't be there for Salem's Lot. We all know Salem's Lot is not a gory movie. You know, it's not a gory franchise. To Return to Salem's Lot obviously did do that. It went that way, and that's why it's known for shit. So, and a lot of other reasons. But let's note that Salem's Lot 2023 does not, you know, put in the same class the same class of trash as Return to Salem's Lot. Like I said, you do have a great, like, title. They think they have a great title on their hands here, everyone. That's what I hate. Everyone here, listen to this. This movie studio, I don't give a shit who has it, New Line, whoever, Dimension, whatever. Whoever has this movie thinks they have a great name with Salem's Lot. They're saying, okay, listen, when people hear Salem's Lot, they think vampires, they think scary 1979, Danny Glick coming through the window, right, Barlow. Okay, no, we don't. No, that's the thing here, everyone. We don't, and that's it. You know, I'm gonna be realistic here. I'm gonna put myself in in 2023 shoes, not fucking 1979 shoes. Get off of the Salem's Lot title. You know, move on from that title. It's a new age. It's a new era. It's a new dawn of vampires. The Lot. It should be called The Lot, and that's it. And I'm sticking to that shit. And they should come out with it on Wikipedia and say, listen, a fucking title change has been made to this movie because the Real Ram Reviewer, foresaw in the future, and he says that we're going to bring in a lot more viewers, a lot more people out of Salem's Lot if we just call it The Lot and get people to come in, and they will come in. Because when, you see the trailer, you're putting the trailer on TV, on cable, you're putting it on YouTube, you're putting it all over, and you're calling it The Lot. And they're watching this trailer. They don't even know it's associated with Salem's fucking Lot. And they'll go to the cinema to see it. Because they'll say, well, it's vampires. I'm going. It's the vampires that are killing or whatever. They will go. Now, that's not false marketing. That's just smart marketing. That's what that is. That's just real talk. You want to bring in viewers that love vampires. And people that love vampires will know this is a vampire movie once they see The Lot and all these vampires in it. You just... don't come out with a trailer and show us the vampires and say, listen, now you see, this is how we're going to show everyone that this is a vampire movie by showing you the vampires. You stupid ass. Like they said, keep the man in the dark, right? Keep the creature in the dark, keep the monster in the dark, blah fucking blah. All right. So let's play it that way when it comes to vampires. I want a slow burn, but I want it done correctly. And that's it. I want it done rightly. Salem's Lot 2023 has a lot to offer. I don't understand why they don't have Susan Norton here, this woman, Mackenzie, or what have you. It's a new actress, I believe. I haven't seen her face before. Is that a good thing? I mean, you don't have a star-bred Ben Mears, right? You got Louis Pullman. Who knows about him? I thought it was maybe it's the son of Bill Pullman. I don't know. But you have him. Don't know him. It's going to be hard. It's going to be an uphill battle, especially like I said when you're dealing with James Wan. I feel like he's scary, man. He could pull off some scary damn scenes. I don't know what you guys think about Mr. Wan, but I believe, he's not the greatest, I'm saying, director or scariest dude around. He's no M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night's not even scary, but wow, M. Night's pretty fucking scary sometimes, I'll tell you that. But man, James has his hand in this, and I feel as if he's there to scare. And I feel like he will produce some scary scenes, some memorable scenes here. And I believe that he will not have anything to do with the vampires directly that come out or anything like that. I think he'll be scaring us with not seeing much, just hearing. And, I want some cold, windy days, man, Maybe it's some fucking snow, man, in this movie. Maybe even some snow and stuff like that. I want some really different environment changes as well. This movie should take place 2023. Definitely should take place late fall, probably late October, right around Halloween time or early November. That's what I want to see. You would think the vampires are dead beings, so they want the coldness. They wouldn't want to be during summer, would they? So, in 2004, of course, it looks cold. It takes place during the fall. But 79, the series here, the miniseries, takes place during the fucking summer. It's just so beautiful out. Every day they're going to picnics and shit. Ben Mears in 79 with Bonnie Belinda there, Miss Susan Norton, and the TV miniseries. It's just beautiful. There's flowers everywhere. It's just that's what I don't like about it. It's just a lot of things I don't like about 79s. But 2004 does it with the environment, with the gloomy feel. I love the gloomy feel in 2004 Salem's Lot. So I want to see it here in 2023 produced really well like that. I want the production to be just, the weather has to be, vampire-like. And of course, vampires are cold, dead beings. They want to be in cold. I mean, it's one big giant coffin probably up in Maine. It's in Jerusalem's Lot, isn't it? So that should be maybe a thing of the story. Like, he doesn't have a coffin. This is one big giant cold coffin for him. The sun never comes out, So that would be cool, man. I want some nuance. See what I'm talking about? Nuance, new ideas, something to twist the audience as well. What about a twist in there? We should have a twist. Something that we didn't see coming, but they want to stay faithful to the book that doesn't have a twist. And you're talking outdated shit. That's what I wanted to cover as well. Outdated, outaged. Outdated, outaged ideas, outdated, outaged, all that shit when it comes to cinema. A lot of the shit is so outdated, outaged, and they think it's still attractive, and it's not. It is not attractive. So they need to get off of that and come up with new ideas, new people into the fold here. Stop harping on the same old title and then using the same old tricks. The same old tricks you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And we're all old fucking dogs. And if you want to teach the old dogs, great. If you want to teach the new dogs, I'll show you how. The Real Review will show you how. Stephen King as well. I wanted to cover that. Having his name, Stephen King's Salem's Lot, or Stephen King's The Lot. He wouldn't. I don't know if he would okay that. Stephen King's The Lot. That's fucking awesome. There it is, right there. Stephen King's The Lot. 2020 coming. Fall 2023. In a town where vampires roam. No, wait. In a town where everything is quiet and peaceful, but cold and dark. Ben Mears. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that, man, That's how they should be doing this film. Really just concentrating on scaring the shit out of us and bringing some new stuff into the movie. Now that I think of it, too, the William Sadler thing, William is so old right now. He is so much older. I know they're going to pull CGI shit with him. Don't transform into a bat. No transformations into bats and shit like that. None of that. We don't want any of that. We don't need any of that shit. So they better not do any transformations into bats, of course. And they just need to stick to... Now, I wonder if they're going to do Stryker here, the guardian of Mr. Barlow. He goes into town. He opens a store, an antique store, And, you know, Donald Sutherland played him in the 2004 version, and I forget who played him in the 79, some older actor, but he was good. He was okay. Sutherland was over the top, no doubt about it. I didn't like that, but it'll do for 2004 Stryker Sutherland, but I wasn't too impressed, of course. He played it so clownish, you know? Kind of like Rucker Howard did. They, you know, these older actors get in here and just like Sadler, you know, but they're gonna cover him up. So, anyways, oh shit. So my point being is that Stryker here is gonna come to town. He's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna come into town and open up the store. And as soon as he opens up the store, people start getting sick or people start acting strange. You know, okay, that's a way to go, right? Okay, Barlow comes in with Stryker, the same setup, right? Ben Mears returns home. He goes to the cafe, blada fucking blada. And yeah, you know, basically Stryker opens the store. The disease starts hitting. Dr. Cody there, seeing all these patients, right? They're all having problems, and they're hearing voices. The kids get lost. You know, a whole bunch of shit's going to be happening. There's got to be that whole bunch of chaos in Salem's Lot that's kicking off. And like I said, the slow burn. It has to be a slow burn. I want a fucking slow burn, and I want to be scared. You know, like some Hereditary shit, but with vampires. Maybe they can do that. I mean, they got James Wan, so I think they're gonna pull off some scares here and there. I just don't know. Mr. Wan is, you know, more than I think about his line of work and his handiwork. I don't know. He's more of that CGI just gets me. I feel like he's more of a CGI guy, but we could see if he could pull off a scary vampire, you know. And this director, like I said, Gary Doberman. I don't know much about him. I don't know where he comes from, but like I said, he had Tobe Hooper directing the original TV miniseries there back in the '70s, and man, that shit was, you don't even, like I said, you don't even know it was directed by Mr. Hooper himself. It is such so out of there that you would not think. It's not even. All right, listen. Salem's Lot, the TV miniseries. Now, is this scary? I would love to put up a fucking poll to see who would think that that Salem's Lot, the '79 version, is so scary. You know, is this 2004 that we're looking at here scary? Of course not. It's not scary, but it's entertaining. Shit, I'm fucking in love with Salem's Lot. I'm a big fan of the book, big fan of the movies. Get my hands on anything, watch the shit out of it. Of course, A Return to Salem's Lot it just fills me with bad feelings. I hate it. I can't even thinking of that movie. But I've actually watched it a couple times. But you know what I mean? We're just staying on 2023, and what I said, like I said, the keys to victory are there for Mr. Wan, for Mr. Gary Doberman, for the studio. You know, don't play by the book when it comes to this vampire movie. You want to take ideas out the book for sure, and the characters and how they all connect and all that shit. Hell yeah, you want to take that plot, the vampires, and come into town, but you want to treat it like the book really does, like a disease. You know, that this shit goes and spreads. And let's see what people go crazy. You know, I want to see some crazy shit. I want to hear crazy shit. Now, the music. I don't know who's composing this movie or who has their hand in the music. What would I like to see with this music? Now, oh boy. Is it nuance? Do you want nuance? Do you want, like, I feel like they're kind of trying to, oh God, bring this to the hip, you know, to the hip age, if you want to call it that. You have people fucking riding around, jamming their radios out and shit. All right, obviously you got to do that. But I wonder what the theme is going to be. I think with a different title and a strong music theme, you could bring in viewers. And I'm saying right at the trailer. So at the trailer, you have the new title with this music trailer. You know, the music for the movie, the theme music. I want to hear that theme. Let me hear, you know, 2004, bro. That is one thing 2004 had, everyone, was a creepy theme. And it had its own Salem's Lot music. It had its own theme. I really love that about 2004. I want to just harp on that and hash on that and just give props to that. Because 2004 had its own fucking Salem's Lot theme. How could you even comprehend that? And they made it happen. They made it. You know, the TV series is so forgettable, whatever that damn theme was. Nobody gives a shit. It wasn't even a theme. Who cares? It was crap. 2004 is just so creepy. It's got some good ambient sounds. So good in the setup. I love their theme for 2004 Salem's Lot. And the music is important here. You know, it's got to be creepy, but it's got to be memorable. It's got to be, you know, make me feel something. So I wonder who they have composing the score for Salem's Lot 2023. I'm really hoping it's someone good, and someone that knows what they're doing when it comes to horror or anything in general. But you always want to have music back, and like I said, we all know the greats: Friday the 13th, Halloween. These are the greats here, everyone. You gotta have music, gotta have music. So that's another strong point is music. Imagine seeing a trailer with The Lot or Stephen King's The Lot and the fucking music, this memorable creepy ass music, and just showing not even the vampires, just showing glimpses of the town, maybe showing a little bit of car wreck or something, some shit, man. Don't show us, make us go to that theater, man, to tune in, to watch it. Make us tune in to HBO Max. Make me want to. I don't want to see or hear what's happening in town. I don't want to see that trailer set up where people are running to people and they're like, oh, what's happening in town? Oh, yeah, Johnny is acting weird. I don't want to hear. Maybe that part. Maybe I would have like that. Like, ooh, what's wrong with Johnny over there or something? And he's just standing there and the camera zooms in on some creepy shit. Maybe something like that. Or he I want to see something creepy, man. I want to see some dark movement. I want to see it. So James Wan has a lot to deliver on. I mean, you're fucking up already though with the title, man. I'm telling you, man. This is something I fucking believe in. That title's got to be changed. Salem's Lot. Everyone has had enough of that title, of saying it, of hearing it. You just associate it with shit, dude. Not with shit, but shit from the past. We want the present. I want nuance. I want now. But we're not going to get that because they're just going to, think that's where if they change. Here's the thing about studios, right? They're probably thinking, listen, if I change the title altogether, we're not going to bring in anyone or even the people that know Salem's Lot. They're not going to come in. They're not going to know it's Salem's Lot unless we call it Salem's Lot. But if you call it Stephen King's The Lot, that people are going to come from the lot for Salem's Lot. They will know it's Stephen King's Salem's Lot. But you got to get permission, of course, from Mr. King here, right? I'm sure to call it fucking The Lot. Stephen King's The Lot. He's going to be like, well, I didn't really write a book that's called that. And just throw that a couple bucks at him and say, hey, Stephen, now you did. And he'll say, yeah, I sure did. So that's what it's all about. Like I said, Henry Cavill, they said they had him. 6 to 8 months ago, they said they had Superman playing Ben Mears, everyone. They said they had Superman playing Ben Mears. And now he's not there. And then they got now they got this whole cast and it's fucking new people. Except for Mr. William Savage. These are people you're never going to see before. So I don't know what happened there. I think the budget or something, or did he back out? Did he have another? No, man. This is such a great role for him. It's been so cool and so memorable. I really thought that brought a lot of credit to the movie, a lot of respect to the movie if you had Henry in there, Mr. Superman, but you don't. So that goes out the fucking window. That's out the building. Superman has left the building now for Salem's Lot 2023. Like I said, there's not much on the internet about it, so I'm just going off of what my heart's telling me, what my mind's telling me. I'm going off of the original Salem's Lot, the TV miniseries. I'm going off of the Return to Salem's Lot even, and of course the 2004 version, because the 2004 version did a lot right. Like I said, the music, the acting, the cast was good. You know what I'm saying? Not all the acting was good, of course. Rutger Hauer and Sutherland was so shit. The story was great. How they started it, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? How Ben Mears is telling the story to someone, and you know he's alive, but you don't know if he's gonna make it. Really tense shit. It was like a 2-part series in 2004 on TNT that premiered back in the early fall. I watched it premiere. Was really just couldn't believe the music. When the music intro hit from 2004, man, it was so memorable. I was like, wow, this thing is creepy. It was like kids like humming. It was like a humming thing or a woman humming. It was just so good. And Ben Mears introducing the town right off the bat. So the setup was great. I felt like it was just a bowling style. You set up the pins and you knock it down. And that's what they did in 2004 to me. But there's a lot of fails there, of course, as well. So what you want to do is take the fails from these 3 previous movies and take the good from the 3 previous movies and sift through this shit. Sift through it until you get to those fine diamonds, or maybe even combine them in a way where they mesh and they make something new and something bright and fresh and scary maybe even, or creepy. The scene here, I believe 2004 did it well with Mike Ryerson. They did it well, but I will give it to the 79 version on doing the Mike part a little better. I felt like they did it better where he gets attacked by Danny in the graveyard a lot better. But I believe in 2004 they did it a lot creepier where he comes back. Then again, it's hard to say because 79 is pretty creepy, but I would give it to 2004. I think when Mike comes back, it's a little better for me in 2004. So there's a lot of parts. See, like I see, if you mesh those two and you do it right, you could have some scary, really scary parts. Because there's one part here where I believe Mr. Burke goes into the room, of course, where Mike was staying, and he goes in there, and Mike's supposed to be dead or what have you, but Mike shows up. Oh man, it could be done so fucking scary, man. So James Wan could really do some damage here, guys. He could really put on a scary fucking movie. He could really give us what we want. So I'm really excited, honestly, to see if James can deliver this for Salem's Lot 2023. Like I said, you're dealing with a lot of it's an uphill battle already when you have the movie titled Salem's Lot. I believe that title has to be changed. I'm gonna harp on that shit. I think I said it at least 30 fucking times during the stream, but I don't care. That's something I think would bring a lot of people in. And like I said, I want to see what they're gonna do with Sadler. What are you gonna do with Sadler? How's he gonna look? Are you even gonna go there with the vampires, or how far will you go with the vampires? Well, will you just go all out Blade shit? Will you go out? I mean, are you just gonna just say, "Hey, dudes, I haven't seen Charlie in fucking 2 weeks. He must be in his basement in a coffin somewhere." I don't know. Are you gonna have Ben Mears stumble upon one of these fuckers in the basement? I don't know. I mean, I feel like the people should be sick. I think this vampire disease should be a disease at first, and like I said, just and save the vampires like 2004 did. They really had a slow burn. They really worked up to that vampire virus. They had a virus. People were getting sick. People were dropping dead. They didn't know why. That's so good. They tried their best with it, and they tried to keep us entertained. And then they, of course, you got Rucker fucking Howard. It's just shit there. But, and the vampires are shit, the effects in 2004. There's no doubt about it, man. Compared to 70, I can't believe I'm saying this, but 1979, so what have you, the original TV miniseries is way better in effects for vampires than 2004's. And that's, I don't know, go figure. So that's where the movies, like I said, that's where to get everything together, the bad and the good, and mesh it if you can, or come out with, use parts and pieces, and then put it together. So that's where you can really come off with a good win, because you have a lot of history here. You know what works and you know what doesn't work. Of course, you know that the 2004 version, I'm not sure if they had numbers back then in TNT on how many viewers watched this premiere or what have you, or watched the rerun of it, but it wasn't in no millions. You know what I mean? So, we know the TV series as well. I'm sure it was watched when it premiered, but it wasn't in the millions. I'm sure of that. So you have to have a lot. Now let's talk marketing for the movie 2023. I believe that Salem's Lot, the key to reaching people that don't know about Salem's Lot. How do you do that? That is the question that you sit down and ask yourself. You say, how do I reach out to people? Well, what you say is, how do I do that? Okay, to people that don't know Salem's Lot, right? We say, first thing is, what do you have in your movie that a lot of people can relate to? Not just, what do you have in the movie? Maybe they can't relate to the title of the movie or the movie itself, but what do you have in your movie? Pick a piece that someone can relate to. And you say, okay, vampires. Okay, take that as a marketing strategy. You want to market the movie based upon vampires. That's just an example, metaphorical here, hypothetical. Sorry. And so we do that hypothetical, right? Okay, so you do vampires. So what you do in your trailer is you would show the vampires. You would show like the Barlow face at the end, or show about two vampire faces maybe during the whole minute 30-second trailer. If you want to amplify and emphasize vampires. So that's how you would bring in other people that don't necessarily read Salem's Lot or give a fuck about the story about Ben Mears and the fucking Marston house and all this other shit. They just want to see vampires and shit. So there you go. That's how you sit down and do that. And of course, Salem's Lot, you're using the title, so you're going to have the people that know Salem's Lot. But you're not using Stephen King's name. I don't like that. I think Stephen King's name should be used. I think if you even take out, like I said, if you're just using Stephen King, if you just use Stephen King anything right now, you're gonna bring in some viewers. Yeah, especially if you take out the Salem's part. I'm just putting Stephen King's The Lot, or that'll do. Um, so, like I said, when I heard that they were going to remake this movie a couple of years ago, what have you, wasn't too keen on it. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't I don't research this shit a lot, but I wanted to educate myself for the live stream a little bit, so I did have some information to give everyone. So I at least two, I could put this down for myself, so I know when I run this back a couple months from now when this movie comes out, I could see where I was right, like I said, where I was wrong, where they were right, and where the real Ram reviewer was wrong. But like I said, I'm a real big fan of this for years and years and years. I read a lot about it, watched the movies over and over. I mean, you can't fuck with me when it comes to the Salem's Lot. You can't really touch me. I will fuck you up. So I'm ready. Let's rumble. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I just had to get this live stream out, or even in the chat, what have you. We can't do it in the chat replay, but yeah. So I wanted to get this off of my chest because it deserves it, man. Salem's Lot deserves it. Shit, they got something creepy. They have something historical here. Let's use it. Let's try to get every little bit we can out of it. Let's stretch it too. If we have to stretch this movie and not stay faithful to the book, then do it. Because even the TV miniseries and the 2004 version, the Return to Salem's Lot, of course, they all don't stick faithfully to the book. So get off of that premise. Stop saying that because you're just trying to bring in people that know about this shit like 30, 40 years ago. Get the fuck out of here. Let's bring it to the new age and let's start thinking of some new ideas. Like I said, there's a lot of shit I said here that could be done to bring in a lot more people and make this movie scary. Just bringing in James Wan, it really is not enough. You're bringing in a no-name director too. I really haven't heard of this Gary Doberman guy, and that's a shame. But we'll give him a chance. Everyone deserves a chance. But James Wan, I mean, he's really got to take this guy under his wing, man. He's got to scare us without showing us. And I do believe that's why they brought him into this movie. I believe they want to do Salem's Lot a different way, not just throw vampires out in our fucking faces. And I believe that's where the win is. The win is to scare us, not to amaze us with effects or amaze us with vampire faces. Try to outdo the Barlow from '79. Stop fucking trying to do that and just move on from that shit because this is something new. I would like to see a lot of new stuff in Salem's Lot 2023. I like to see some new technology being used as well, like cell phones, of course. I don't want to see the cell phone being damn. Whatever. Give me some fucking new shit. Computer use. I want to use some booby traps. I don't know, man. Let's see the technology here. Don't act like Maine, Jerusalem's Lot in Maine, up in the corner of the fucking Northeast, don't have Wi-Fi or doesn't have cool drones or, shit like that. Why not fly a drone over or something? I don't know, man. It scared the shit out of us. Oh boy, that scared me. That popped on the screen. This guy, this is a hard thing to live up to, everyone. This will give you some damn nightmares. I want to have nightmares when I think and see the trailer from Salem's Lot 2023. I'm sure I'll do a live reaction to the fucking trailer when it comes out, when it drops in this year sometime. Hopefully, they'll push this movie back like they did before. They pushed this shit back because I don't know what's going on with the film. Like I said, a lot of things happening that make me skeptical. Really sus here if they're gonna, really deliver. I don't know. They're trying to cut corners here. The cast doesn't look too well, but we'll see what happens. So this is the live stream. Thank you for joining me for the Salem's Lot 2023 Talk Live. I had to get it off my chest. I had to get it out there. This has to be said. And like I said, I'll run this back a couple months from now and see where I was right and where I was wrong. Are you right? Are you wrong? What do you think about Salem's Lot 2023 and the news? Let me know. Let the real reviewer know. I love every single one of you. Thanks for joining me for this impromptu live stream on Salem's Lot 2023 Talk.